Richard Stavis, and I'm the president of Stavis Seafoods here in Boston. We are an import-export business that also markets and sells branded seafood into the country, and we have a large variety of products that we're selling, superior quality products, and we're really based on knowledge and integrity, and the fish that we sell is fish which is above repute.
Richard, is Japan an exporter or an importer of fish, or both?
Both.
Yes.
It gets to be a very complex equation, because Japan is an exporter of seafood, they're an importer of seafood, and they also contract purchase product to be processed in China to even come back to the United States as well. They are in competition with us for the resource, as well as with other countries. So what happens in Japan can set the prices for a number of the fish items that you're used to eating, even if it's not something that ever touches their country.
And why is that, Richard?
Wow.
Well, there's a couple of different reasons why. One of them is because Japan is a country that's relatively well-to-do and has a very strong fish-eating tradition.
Right.
So a lot of we're all able to buy from around the world. Stavis buys from over 35 different countries. And when we're going to our overseas suppliers, when we're going to the processing plants that we've visited, that we've made relationships with, just about all of them have had some people from Japan in there as well. And if we want to have king crab, they want to have king crab. If we want to have salmon, they want to have salmon. And as we're all looking to fill our coffers, to fill our freezers, it's a bit of competition that goes on.
Now, Jeffrey had seafood the other day, and he came back with a big glow. Is there radiation in this fish?
That's because I was happy.
I was going to say, I think that was a smile. That's a funny question, and this whole question of radiation in seafood is one. I think somehow that as Americans we just love to be terrified. My son always asks me about to tell him a scary story, or he's looking at what that next horror movie is, even though he's years away from being able to go in there unescorted. And somehow we always seem to glom on to these scary things.
So is this somewhat of a myth right now for us?
Well, a couple of different things. First of all, it's something we're coming from Japan to here, unless it's one of the few items that would be flown. On a boat trip, it would take 4 to 6 weeks to get here.
Right.
There's nothing that could have hit the food supply at this point that would have a higher level of radiation.
Because it was pre-tsunami and pre.
Exactly, right? But also the number of items that are coming here from Japan are very limited, because frankly they're willing to pay more than we are. And frankly, they're a bit more affluent. I don't know if you've been following what's been going on with international currencies.
But fish is more important there.
Fish is much more important, and anybody who's been to Japan and who's eaten the $45 piece of tuna on the rice at the sushi restaurant knows that there's a status involved in having the best fish, and that they have a totally different expectation of what they're willing to pay for it. So there are fish that do come to the United States from Japan. A lot of them are things that are focused on the sushi market. Some of them are fish that come right out of the water, like farm raised hamachi. Some of them are things which are further processed, like the crab stick you see on your sushi. But the items that are here right now are ones that were pre-tsunami, pre-earthquake, pre-problems, and anything which is going to be coming here from now on. The FDA, as of was it 23rd, I think, had made a statement that basically anything which comes in out of Japan is going to be tested for radiation. So there's safety. Our food supply is safe and will continue to be safe.
So we don't have